Okay, let's talk about the recent terrorist attack in Australia. Now, information is very early at this point, so that means it's most likely to be wrong in some significant degree. But going off what I have already, I've got a couple things that cause me some great concern. The first one is the Ostrich Effect. So, did these event organizers or did the local police have their head buried in the sand, imagining that nothing would happen? Why was there such a casualty count in an event like this when the police should have been there from the very start? When the people organizing the event should have arranged for some type of security. Events like this that display some type of virtue, whether it's religious or not, will attract people who see that virtue as an anti-virtue. Also, was wokeism part of this? Did the event organizers just believe that no one would ever harm them because they're good people? Or did the police have their head buried in the sand because they didn't want to admit that Islamic terrorism is a real thing and it is likely to target events like this amongst others? Okay, first of all, locations. About 40% of these events in recent years occur in open spaces like parking lots or multiple locations. Get the idea out of your head that active threat events only occur indoors. Number two, this guy has many options here. He's hidden in a parking lot behind a couple cars. The attacker is facing away from him. This is what we call a window of opportunity. Now, this good Samaritan, this brave defender could have chosen to remain hidden. He could have chosen to flee. But he chose to take on the attacker. He weighs his options, and whether it was tactically smart or whether it's just raw spiritual courage, this person goes forward and takes on the attacker and rushes him during that window of opportunity. This brings up the +1 rule. The +1 rule that I teach simply means this. If you take a weapon off an attacker, plan for that attacker to have another weapon, plan for that attacker to attack you again, given a chance, and plan for that attacker to have another associate with them. So until all those things are disproven and that attacker is disabled, you make sure they don't have any other weapons on them, and you make sure they don't have an associate that's coming to attack you. You need to keep your guard up. Also, this is very important. If you happen to pick up an attacker's weapon, there's a high likelihood that you're going to be targeted by other attackers or by arriving police or perhaps lawfully armed citizens, not in Australia, but in other countries. So if you have that long gun in your hand, you're putting a big target on your back. So either use it right away if you need to, and then get that weapon out of line of sight. Lower it, get behind some cover, hide yourself and hide that weapon so it's not the first thing that other armed defenders might see to get you misidentified and also keep you safe from additional attackers. Lastly, if you're going to go to an event like this and you can't bring something like this with you to help you defend yourself and your loved ones, it is a training device, not a real gun. Make sure you have other appropriate equipment, such as medical equipment with you. And most importantly, above all, is have a plan, elevate your awareness to a degree at key times especially. Enjoy the holidays, but an ounce of prevention can prevent pounds of pain in the future. All right, a couple quick disclaimers. Yes, you should be able to enjoy the holidays without worrying about events like this. But there's the way the world should be, and there's the way the world is, and you have to act according to reality. Number two, let's give some thanks to this heroic man who attempted to take on one of the attackers. Instead of just being a bystander, he chose to switch roles and actually become a hero in this event. And he went forth bravery with courage and took on the attacker, and he may have paid a price for that. Again, information is very early. Also, I don't question the bravery of the individual officer responding to this. Initial information is that several were injured responding, but I do question their preparedness and why they weren't a little more ready for this event and on scene a little quicker. Don't depend on law enforcement or ambulances or anybody else to come to your aid. They are secondary responders. Take charge, be responsible, be capable, and be confident.